And we're live. Alright. Welcome everybody. This is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I am BMAC Attack 64, and I'm joined by my good friend Damon AAA. He's also a Star Wars speedrunner, and he speedruns Rogue Squadron 2. It's world record holder in that. So he's going to help me out with Rogue Squadron 1 today, and a couple other games as we go through.
Yeah.
So,
hi,
say hi.
Man. And we're in for a treat. It's going to be a great time.
Cool. Well, let's get started. We're going to be doing any percent any vehicle today, and that means we can pick any ship with any upgrades and beat the game as fast as possible.
So lots of Y-Wing then, yeah?
Yes, lots of Y-Wing. The fastest ship in the fleet.
Why not?
And timer starts when we select our ship. We're gonna melt some of these levels. Yeah, you won't even, if you blink, you will miss.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
V-Wing carries 2 blaster cannons which can be fired at a normal rate or in the rapid fire position. Rapid fire is useful for strafing ground targets, but it overloads the cooling units and can often cause a complete burnout. In addition, thrust engines have been modified to supply an incredible amount of power over a short distance.
And we're going to start
Generally
in
used
3,
to evacuate
2,
a pilot from a
1,
dangerous area.
go. So, first mission here, hopefully it goes very fast. Might not even know what happens.
Luke, I think we've got a problem.
The reason we use the V-Wing in most of these missions is because it's completely overpowered with these Seeker cluster missiles.
And it's fast. And it has good lasers. It's the reward for beating the game, essentially. And then, in this category, we get to take it through the beginning of the game and use it as many times as we possibly can.
Oh, did I get that off? No, I didn't. Dang it. So there is a really tight frame window there. If you fire off a secret missile just before that cutscene plays, it'll launch the missile and seek those TIE bombers during the cutscene and kill them. And then end the level immediately. But there's only maybe like a 3-frame, 4-frame window to get that. We did pretty good. It's always better to be late than early, because if you're early, you have to shoot them down. But if you're late, you still have the missile and can take them out pretty quick. Now I think this is going to be the only level that we use an X-Wing on.
And why is that?
Take your targets and go.
Well, one, it doesn't have Seeker cluster missiles. And it just usually is faster to avoid picking ships in the hangar there. X-Wing really doesn't have much advantage over any other ship, so... This level is on rails. We can hang out and chat about stuff.
All right, road group.
Is there anything you're going to be doing to prevent things from slowing down? Like, is there like lag reduction you have to worry about?
Not really any lag reduction here. The worst thing that could happen is our transports here getting killed. So the goal is to just kill everything. There's going to be some TIE bombers that spawn that we'll try to take out. Like one over here. But otherwise, the transports are on rails. They won't stop for anything. This train has no brakes. We just need to avoid getting them killed.
Is there like an amount of stuff, of your allied stuff, that's allowed to get killed before you fail the mission?
That's actually a good question. I don't know.
Because I know that, yeah.
There are some other levels where there is. There's one level that's going to come up later where you have to protect some vehicles, and if the lead vehicle gets killed, you lose some time because it triggers the final cutscene.
Oh, that makes sense. So as soon as a vehicle hits the finish line, the level's over. Gotcha.
Exactly. So we're just going to remove all obstacles, make sure nothing gets killed. As far as the speedrun goes, we are doing a little bit of a marathon safe route and a marathon entertaining route. This game has some weird speedrun tech. It's an N64 game. It is the first game to incorporate the N64 expansion pack. And what we've learned is with the expansion pack, the game runs at a higher resolution. And that also creates more lag. And you'll lose about 4 to 5 seconds a mission just by that lag alone. So when we do actual speedrun attempts, we take the expansion pack out and use just the standard memory pack.
Does the lag affect the in-game timer or just RTA timing?
Just RTA time. So you could leave it in if you were doing IL attempts.
And then if you really want to reduce the lag, there's the PC version, but that's cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating. There is a PC version of this game that runs at a very smooth frame rate, very high frame rate
at that point.
But it also is really prone to crashing. And I personally don't run it because my soul could not take a PC crash when you're like 45 seconds ahead of world record pace.
I would cry.
Yeah. And they happen anywhere. There are not like specific places to avoid crashing. It just can happen.
Is there any like warning? Because I know like in Rogue Squadron 2, if you all of a sudden a voice line doesn't play, that means that the next cutscene you're going to get a game crash. which is just like when I start getting sad. I'm just like, oh, Lando was supposed to say something there. I guess it runs over, and then sure enough, 10 seconds later,
yeah,
black screen. But
there's no warning. I think that's the worst part. Is there's no warning.
Speaking of voice lines, we're hearing them today. That's not always the case.
We are. Again, this is for entertainment value. I have turned voices on, but in a real attempt I would turn voices off because the game, some of the cutscenes are triggered by when voice lines end. And so Crix Madine may be talking and the mission won't end until he finishes. But if we turn voices off, the game will end, or the mission will end immediately following whatever objective you had to complete. So that definitely saves time here and there. But then the game gets really quiet.
No.
And that wouldn't be entertaining. And there's some great lines in this game.
I think that
if you like the memes.
Yeah, Factor 5, of course, does an amazing job of fitting so much game into one little N64 cart and later even onto some discs. And it's pretty incredible how much that there really is. And I think that there's kind of that added bonus of with all the things coming over the radio is that the little bit of distortion is expected in the voice, and I think that Star Fox 64 probably also benefits from that. You can fit a lot of voice lines in when they don't need to be crystal clear.
Right. So here we're on the third mission. We're searching for the Nona, and this mission is RNG. The Nona itself, there are 3 locations it can spawn, and it looks like, of course, we got the worst location. This is the furthest out from the exit. The spot that I flew to first would have been the best. So I always fly to the best first, and then the worst, and then if we get semi-lucky, we get the middle. But the first half of this mission is all on rails. This enemy transport here is on a global timer, so you don't lose any time by where it spawns initially. The time is lost at the end of the level when your shuttle is trying to escape. You just have further distance to fly away.
Is there any kind of prep you can do before the shuttle lands, or is it just wait?
It's just wait. You gotta wait. A lot of this game is just knowing what triggers the cutscene or the next phase of the mission, and accomplishing that as fast as possible. So here we've got some TIE bombers that spawn in 4 groups of 2. And as soon as we kill them, the next phase begins.
Ah, love those missiles.
It's very easy when you have cluster missiles.
Take out those tanks.
And that's basically it for this level. Our transport's already left, and we can attempt to protect it, but it doesn't really need protection. I've never had the transport die before, so...
Can it?
Here it is. Maybe? I don't know.
I'll have to try that later.
So this game... I can try.
You don't have to kill it.
They spawn TIE fighters in a line, and they just chase it down one after another. They do a lot of shooting on it, so I don't know if it can die or not. A lot of the Rogue Squadron games have some weird hit values for vehicles, and some might be invincible even though they tell you to protect, which we've learned in the past. But now we just gotta let it escape.
I like how they very politely take turns. Okay, you can shoot the shuttle, and now I'll shoot the shuttle. Next one is one at a time.
Nice. That was. I like when you kill them like that. You get them right in the cockpit, and they do the whole like shockwave
really
explosion.
Cool.
.340, not bad. That's good time for the bad spawn location. So now we've got our first speeder level. Snow speeder from Hoth.
Slower than you'd expect from a speeder.
And yeah. I bet you can imagine what we have to do with this vehicle.
Picking up something strange on my scopes. I copy.
Why do you think they would give us this vehicle?
Right with you, boss.
Well, I think the one thing it has going for it is the fact that it can trip things. You gonna trip things?
We could try. We could also do something else. Here's what we're gonna try something here. We're gonna try to do a little spawn advancement here. They did it. Okay, they killed him. So we leave that last probe droid for our wingmen to come kill it. We can't fly too far out, otherwise they won't do it. We did not get the right spawn. So what we're trying to do is spawn into the or fly into the next spawning zone so that we don't have to fly as far to these TIE bombers.
They're attacking the city.
Because the speeder is actually very slow, and you'll
Rogue
lose
group,
the majority of
those
your
bombers are
time
heading straight for it. There are lots of innocent people in here.
flying from location to location. I can hit things.
Well, cluster misses in this one. Shooting the old-fashioned way. Boy, would that be fun, though.
Yeah. It is a speeder class, so the downside to the V-Wing, the cluster missiles, is it's a speeder class. So you cannot use it in like space or high atmosphere missions,
The attack came before I could reach right.
which is a bummer for some levels.
Can you get me out?
But because there's going to be AT-AT walkers, they won't let you do it, which is a shame because we don't actually need to trip them up.
Back in the
In
good
this
old days when you could just blow up an AT-AT. Do that here, you could do that in Shadows. Why won't you do that in the other Rogue Squadron games, which would be great?
That's the tech center. Chris Nadine is inside.
And now we got a couple more bombers here. And again, oh, that's not good. I don't know how that guy died. Did I get? We want to kill that last one in a position to where we can fly out of there farther to again manipulate where we spawn after this
What are
cutscene.
you doing here?
How you doing, kid?
And yeah, we didn't get it.
This is my hometown after
You see
all.
where we
Maintain
spawned?
visual scanning.
Had we manipulated it, we would have spawned right about here, which will save 3 to 4 seconds. If you do that every time, if you get all the right spawns, you can actually save quite a bit of time.
Use your harpoons and
See if we can get this in a single pass. Nice, got it.
Very good.
Rogues, I've got trouble over here. They just stopped the power.
It's only a valid strat if you're doing the any percent any vehicle because you have the upgraded lasers. If you're doing just straight any percent, it's definitely faster to just wrap them up.
How much more powerful are the advanced lasers compared to standard?
They're pretty good. It's like I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hits for a TIE bomber when it's normally like 5.
So it's like roughly double.
Almost double. Stay on target.
Now, do they take extra damage in the head, or is that the only place they take damage?
I think it's the only place they take damage. Not look at me.
Commander Skywalker, we're dispatching a shuttle.
They will kill you pretty quickly if you just go face to face with it.
Getting trolled by AT-ATs is pretty routine for a Star Wars game, it seems.
I swear I've played this before. Yeah, so this mission's done. Once we kill that AT-AT, our shuttle over here spawned and is coming to pick up Chris Madine, I believe? General Reagan. I don't know. Most of the time I don't hear them talking anymore. This one has everyone's favorite upgrade where you have to like fly through buildings. The way you know which corridor to go into
Sir, we found
is by those 2 little stormtroopers standing in front of it.
That's pretty clever.
But now we're just waiting for the mission to end. these poor guys on the ground. I think we killed everything.
Full clear, 100%.
Almost. Not a bad time. Oh, this one. This is a great one. We're gonna skip this entire level. This level is incredibly broken. We're gonna use the fastest ship in the fleet or speedrun. This is a 4-minute mission on any percent.
Y-wings take care of the yachts. Rogue Squadron flies cover.
4 minutes.
Accelerate to attack speed.
And casually, you probably struggled with this level because so much stuff shooting you is kind of obnoxious if you don't know the fast way to play it.
This level introduces the seeker missile turrets also, which can be extremely deadly.
Hang on back there.
And that's a 4-minute level. So what we did there is that yacht that I was shooting is the final yacht that your teammate or your wingmen, Y-wings, have to kill or take down and disable with ion lasers. But when you're any ship, you can be a Y-wing, and so you can just fly over to it, take it or disable it with your ion cannons, and then destroy the last building that you need to destroy, and the level will instantly end, ignoring everything else you had to do.
Private channel, go ahead. Luke, how do we know Kaysen isn't leading us right into a trap? Not now, Wedge.
Now, back to the viewing.
Maintain visual scanning.
No more shenanigans with picking the old slow thing.
Burn out on cannon 1. Burn out on cannon 2.
Good.
Hold on, my blasters are still cooling.
Takes a full charge with the rapid lasers to take out a power generator.
I thought I was the best.
So you don't want to miss any shots there.
Okay, Rose, we're not done here. Let's clean up the remaining Imperials and go home.
And quickly eliminate.
Make sure to destroy all Imperial air cover. We can't complete the
Is this the first time we ever see ATPTs?
Yes.
No?
No. They're in, they get dropped from the shuttle.
Oh, they do. You just did such a good job of killing them so fast. I didn't even see them.
Yes. So here's another forced speeder level. Just, you know, if they want us, they keep wanting us to like take down these walkers with our tow cables. But
remember, take out those scanners.
I'm not like into
It's for
that.
lore reasons.
Form up.
It's the purpose of the speeder.
We're getting a little close to those scanners.
Which is funny that we always associate them with Hoth, when the whole story on Empire Strikes Back is that they brought them over to Hoth and they had to build them up to survive the cold. And there was like, oh, by the way, I guess we can trip stuff as an improvised weapon. And now that that improvised weapon has become what you do in every level.
So these radar dishes could detect us and instantly end the level. We're gonna kill them, and then we're just gonna ignore geometry here. And skip the rest.
Why not?
Goal is to take out the construction yards.
think the reason for the tow cables is literally just for towing, like for transport. I don't think the land speeder, snow speeder things were ever designed specifically for combat.
If you're lucky, you can clip through this wall too. But if you die, the great thing is it just spawns you right where you need to be.
A little bonus.
It's a couple seconds slower if you die, but also not a big deal.
Do death cutscenes count towards in-game time in this game?
They do, yes. So, this level, they want you to be the Y-Wing, but we're going to be the V-Wing. This level is big time run killer on any percent, because you need to do this clip, and it's very difficult when you're using a standard craft, because the V-Wing is a speeder, and so it uses repulsors, and it can't actually hit the ground. Like, its engines keep it from touching the ground. So it makes it really easy to do clips when the game is forcing you off the walls.
Right. Is that clip possible with every vehicle? It's just harder, or are there some vehicles that can't clip?
It's possible with every vehicle, it's just harder. See, this is as low as I can fly right now. I got everything.
About to find out.
There's that sensor array.
Okay.
I copy.
So we were supposed to fly through a bunch of these canyons to get to this spaceport to blow it up. Then we're supposed to fly back through a bunch of these canyons, and it's a big old maze. But we're just gonna jump the roof there. Take out these things. These are barracks. Some sensor array.
Burn out on cannon 1. Burn out on cannon 2. I'm hit! Hit your booster.
Very good.
Nice.
Rogue Squad.
So what we did there, we left that last turret over by the barracks over there. The barracks, the spaceport, and the sensor array are 3 separate compounds, I guess. And if you kill one at a time, you get a different cutscene after each one. But leaving the turret over by the barracks avoids that cutscene, and making it the last cutscene ends the level. So we did a cutscene skip, and in that cutscene, Wedge gets captured by this train, or by the Imperials, and is on this train.
Excellent work.
And we have to disable it. And that took 25 seconds.
Easy. A few of the ILs in this game are very, very silly because there's so little gameplay to them. Just kind of like run in, run out.
Yeah, that mission, they want you to fly around, search the prisons, try to find Wedge's signal. But if you know exactly where he's at on that train, you can immediately disable it. So, a little bit of a broken level.
Switching power to front to front.
Doesn't seem like they worked too hard.
And on that train...
It doesn't seem like
sorry,
they worked too hard to prevent that cheese.
Rapid fire mode engaged.
You can just shoot it and the level's over.
While Wedge was on that train, he learned of other prisons on Kessel.
From your R2. Rebels located. We're on our way.
So we're going to free them.
What's for enemy fighters? I've got a problem here. Burnout on cannon 1. Burnout on cannon 2. Hold on, my blasters are still cooling. Take your boosters.
Okay.
That got it. Shields down. Commencing rescue. Thanks, Rogue Group. I'm clear.
There.
I'm hit.
Okay.
Rogue Squadron.
Not terrible. Took a lot of damage though. That's
We
unfortunate.
can't take these ties.
So your goal is to follow this shuttle around, protect it as a squad of commandos goes into each prison and frees the prisoners. There are 4 locations that it goes to. Each time it gets to a new location, there's a new trigger for the commandos to leave the shuttle. So the goal for us is to take out that trigger as fast as possible when it becomes available. That's honestly fine.
I know that deaths and lives in general are kind of a weird thing in this game. Is there any danger of running out of lives throughout the course of the run?
Sir, we found some secret...
Well, you get 3 lives each mission, so... there are a couple missions where it's dangerous. A couple of the later ones, but in these early ones, the only time we really want to die is just to reload missiles.
Rebels located. We're on our way.
That guy was the trigger. Otherwise, the commandos don't really need our help for much. The shuttle can get shot down though, so they do go from base to base, taking out its defenses as they're rescuing others.
Do you need to kill the buildings, or is that just for fun?
That's just for fun. This is actually a very difficult mission to get a gold medal on. The amount of kills that you need aren't actually provided initially. There are some... I killed these like black barracks buildings that I killed here. They spawn stormtroopers. And after the shuttle lands. So you have to wait for the shuttle to land and then let the commandos exit the shuttle, and then stormtroopers come out, and then you can kill the building, and then you have to kill the stormtroopers.
Even though it's been 20 years since I've gotten the gold medal in this level, that sounds familiar, and that being obnoxious.
Yeah. So you kind of got to take this level a bit
Which,
slower.
of course, time is one of the parameters for a gold medal, so you can't take it too slow.
Right. And wait for that group of ties to spawn. Take it out. So, like, we took them out before the shuttle even landed, so this commandos are already out. Sometimes more ATSD spawn. It's also a valid strat to just run into things.
Rescue complete.
We got one more prison to go.
Burnout on cannon 1. Burnout on cannon 2. Hold on, my blasters are still cooling.
And I'm kind of okay with them not bringing back the seeker missile turrets in these games, because those are so obnoxious. I'm okay with them being left on N64 forever.
I haven't even seen the best part yet. Some paying attention there.
I'm clear.
Cool. And that's basically the level now. We just gotta wait for him to get his guys and get out. This is usually the point where you fly around and pick off any remaining enemies you see on the radar.
Looks like you cleaned them up, though.
Yeah, so here's the example. Like 8 stormtroopers spawn from those barracks if you let them out. So I forget what the total number is. It's somewhere in the 100, like 105 or 110 kills you need to get a gold medal. So you have to let multiple barracks out.
In this game, can you raise your accuracy stat by shooting at something that is an indestructible target?
That's a thing you can do in Battle for Naboo, and I'm not entirely sure.
It works in Rogue Squadron 2.
We've figured it out. Yes.
I'm
not sure that we figured it out in this game.
Because that's the easiest way to get a max accuracy stat on, like, I don't know, Hoth or something, where you have AT-ATs that are technically a target, but they don't take damage. And so you can just bury the laser into them for about 10 seconds, and then your accuracy stat's set for the whole level.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff in this game that you can shoot, but you can't kill. Like stuff with force fields and all that.
Yeah, there's a 100% category, which is getting all gold medals. Oops. And Starfighter. That's definitely something that they've worked on. I've never run that category. I don't know entirely. But in like Battle for Naboo, there's a signal when your lasers hit a specific target like that that lets you know that you're getting accuracy.
Got it.
Like the explosion of your lasers changes.
Well, that's cool. So I assume we're in the Naboo here because it's faster than an X-Wing and not as crappy as an A-Wing? Yep.
Exactly. Naboo Starfighter is the fastest ship. The A-Wing has the worst accuracy.
A-Wing looks so cool, but it's always so trash in all these games.
Yeah. It has a terrible auto-aim feature, which is completely unnecessary.
I'm beginning to see why they say you're the best.
So we just gotta go around and take out all of these canisters that have the Imperial logo on them.
I've lost onto.
Shot.
Excellent work.
Oh. That's okay. Couple more platforms and then we'll see the not Bespin cloud singing.
Yep.
It's a little confusing as to why they created this planet Tal'Aran to look exactly like Bespin, not use Bespin.
Because they didn't want Bespin to be too unique. where they completely backpedal on that in the next game. Just straight up make it Bespin, and the level looks identical to this. Like, identical.
Yeah. This is Bespin. They even use the Bespin music.
Yes, they completely backpedal 100,000%.
Once for a possible Imperial takeover. Small though. Check your fire, Skywalker.
Good job.
This is the N64, and you can imagine the frame rate is extremely high. And that causes some issues with your lasers and allows them to clip through objects. And sometimes you shoot things and you think you're shooting things, but actually you're not hitting it at all.
Every frame of this game is a work of art, and they want to make sure you can enjoy that work of art for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Squadron, report in.
Rogue 7 standing by.
Rogue 8 standing
That's one of the
by.
problems.
Rogue 9
As we
standing
move
by.
further into some of these more complicated levels, it becomes a problem. And it starts really with Talaran right there.
Is there anything you can do about that, like alter your rate of fire, or is it not worth it?
Concentrate your firepower on that gate.
One thing I try to do is you can change your rate of fire in this. So, like if you're an X-Wing, you can do dual fire and quad fire lasers. And so, like the Naboo Starfighter can do single and double fire lasers. And for whatever reason, I feel like switching to double fire helps me. But I have no science to back that up.
Can you do any sort of camera-based lag reduction to increase the odds that all of your lasers hit?
Good job.
You can, if you go into first person, into like the cockpit view, you can get a better auto aim. Like the game will, like if you're an X-Wing and say you're doing single fire, and you get close to an enemy, it will angle each single fired laser like into each other, so it connects on the enemy.
Yeah, yeah.
If that makes sense. So you can improve that by going into cockpit view. Not like super necessary. It's pretty necessary on PC, but not on N64. So here we're finally wrapping up.
Why not shoot these?
We technically don't have to, but it's the angles that you take to get to them aren't really great for the amount of time it takes to shoot them. So it's just faster to wrap them up.
Excellent work.
Oh, and those are seeker missiles taking me out and stuff. And our goal on this mission is to protect. There are 3 ATVs down here. These tanks absolutely shred them. There.
Those tanks are some of the ugliest enemies in the entire game. Look, they don't match anything else. I don't understand.
Got those. TIE bombers coming. Did not get that.
Watch for enemy fighters. I'm on it.
Let's just make sure. If we're good, we can avoid tanks spawning right here, which we did. This is the ATBT. We do not want to die. Otherwise you lose like 15 seconds. Because when he gets to finish line is when the mission ends. That should be it.
Very nice.
It's just a steady walk. I haven't been picking them up that much. Sometimes you see them, but these are upgrades. They're hidden throughout every mission, almost every mission.
But you already have them all in this file, right?
We're fully. Yeah, so we don't have to pick them up. It's just force of habit. You do have to pick them up if you want a gold medal, though.
Right. And when you have these on-rails sections, like here at the end, is there you flying around the map like this doesn't slow anything down, or the game doesn't really care?
Yeah, the game doesn't care. Everything else is on a global timer. So if there were enemies that were going to spawn, like to attack the convoy there, we would know about it and go back over and take them out.
Sometimes they,
but I know that they're going to walk freely to the finish line.
Sometimes I always wonder about stuff when it's like an N64, because so much of N64 is like despawning things that are off camera or making things like low poly when they're off camera, just to save power.
Right.
It would not surprise me either way if it was faster to have them be far away, or if it was faster to have them be close up, or I guess if in this case it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we haven't found that it really matters. At least what they most... I'm not like super into grinding IL times. But what they find is nothing's affected like the IL time.
I mean, that's not too surprising either. There's equivalents like that. Like in Rogue Squadron 2, the train on Maw, it doesn't matter what you do, it always goes the same speed. Lando and Core always goes the same speed. Doesn't matter. Unfortunately, it'd be great if you could do literally anything. It's 2 auto-scrollers, essentially.
So this section is a bit of an auto-scroller. We got a train in a Star Wars game.
It's the Disney monorail.
And we have to protect it as it gets to the city. TIE fighters are going to spawn. TIE bombers are going to spawn. We definitely need to take those out.
Inbound fighters at 1013. I copy. I've got a problem here. They got my stabilizer.
Then there's some really tricky parts. Okay. Just fly right through that. TIE fighters we only have to take out. The really only concern here is the TIE bombers. They just like hover over the train dropping bombs.
Is it a concern that you have the seeker missiles, and like if you were to use those to take out the bombers, is there a chance that your missiles would hit the train?
No. This game's actually pretty good about knowing who an enemy is. I think Rogue Squadron 2, they're not very good.
Completely indiscriminate. It will hit the closest target. Doesn't matter if it's friendly or not, so you have to be super careful. I've lost runs. I was doing ILs of Bespin, and I was like, oh, I'll use the cluster missiles to kill the bombers at the end, and all of my missiles hit the gas canisters, and I failed the mission on the spot.
Your resistance is useless. As you can see, I have blockaded the city.
All of them.
Relay is now mine. You will surrender, or I will shoot you all
So if you saw real quick there, some TIE bombers spawned, and I was able to get a cluster missile off, and we killed them during the cutscene, which then skipped a whole section and allowed say, there's supposed to be 3 more over here. They hadn't spawned.
New time save.
But yeah. There we go. Should probably just kill myself to reload.
Take your boosters.
So we're gonna have one more set of TIE bombers to kill that. Just wipe out quickly. Shuttle is taken off. Those guys you don't have to kill. They won't actually kill the shuttles. There's going to be some TIE bombers over here that spawned. So far, nobody's been able to seeker those TIE bombers as they spawn. That could potentially take us in a cutscene. There we go.
It's sad that you have to go through all that just for 2 shots.
Right. Okay, here's everyone's favorite level if you played this as a kid. You probably either gave up on this level or it's traumatized you. Either one. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna be triggered.
Okay, that's one. You know what to look for.
What's random fighter?
I'm hit, but not bad.
We have to take out these shield generators here. As we're getting shot by a dozen seeker missiles.
The Star Wars games, you have to have at least one level that's on a dark planet with lots of lava. It's a requirement.
I think we got it. I think we got it. I think we killed. Okay. Best just to like go as fast as possible. Okay. Sometimes you lose an input trying to manual fire these seeker proton torpedoes. And then you get stuck on
That should do
the
it.
homing
The shield should be down.
Let's all rendezvous back at the
reticle.
capacitor. We'll need to hit it with all our firepower.
Is there a cooldown to the missile to where if you were to like triple tap instead of double tap, you would always get it, but you wouldn't prime another missile?
Oh, I just mashed it, yeah. So this is a section here where I switch rate of fire. Because these things are notorious for your lasers just flying right through. They also have a rotating hitbox.
Oh my god, they made the hitbox rotate to match the model? That's awful. Why?
Yeah. And it's only, you can only hit it in one position.
No.
So like, yeah, this has not been great. Maybe our wingmen won't be good about this. Hey, they did. They got it. Good for them.
Imagine having cooperative wingmen.
Yeah, this is the last game they do that. All right, this is the scariest level for me. This one is. This one you could actually like really game over on and have to start over.
Pick your targets and go. Maintain visual scanning.
Sir, we found some cluster seeker missiles.
Did we?
Watch out for those factor containers.
Burnout on cannon 1. Burnout on cannon 2. Hold on, my blasters are still cooling.
Your mission for this level is to kill everything. It's very simple. The problem is you have a boss fight. And wouldn't you know, he shoots secret missiles.
Am I right in thinking that that's the only boss fight in the whole trilogy?
Yeah, that'd be right.
I think that's a missed opportunity.
I'm hit! I'm hit! Ah!
That's okay. You need to kill things, and the best way to do that is to get more secret missiles.
Tactical reload. Oh wow, they spawned you right there where you crashed. Jesus.
Yeah, that was a lucky spawn. That generally doesn't happen. One thing that's pretty bad about this level is there is a set of ties that spawn, and they just track you, and they just sit on your butt and shoot you. And they're very annoying. They can actually do a lot of damage to you.
I don't think you've talked about the laser overheating, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the rapid fire mode, if you use it more than a couple seconds, it will overheat and you'll be unable to fire your lasers.
How long does the cooldown period last if that happens?
So you're the young man who destroyed the Death Star.
Like 5 seconds. It's a very long time in the middle of a battle.
You wish to surrender now, or shall I destroy you?
Here's the boss. And that's unfortunate. That's extra unfortunate. This is where it's scary. So if your seeker missiles miss, and then they just circle around him,
You're a very talented pilot.
then you can't fire anymore. They won't seek him.
Join the Empire. I could have used a pilot with your skills.
This is spectacularly bad luck.
Impossible.
Yes. Here we go.
Even if you win today,
Are
the
you
Empire will crush the rebellion.
kidding me? Please kill him. Thank you.
You got
Good.
you got the
Whew,
vertical
that was
loops
scary.
and you got the horizontal loops. Yeah, you got them both.
Yeah.
All in one go.
Great stuff. Just say that wasn't my best time on that level. So that's
The world devastators are raining.
story-wise for this game. That's the final mission, and then you get to this mission, and it jumps. I think it's like 5 years in advance, and they give you the V-wing. They're like, check out this cool ship. Here's like a bonus mission.
Rapid fire mode engaged.
And you get to take out these world devastators.
Very creative name.
Like,
It's basically just an oil rig, right?
My R2 has found a weak spot.
I blew it.
It's the shield generator on top. If we destroy it, we have a better chance of taking these things down.
Burnout on
Expected
cannon 1.
to die there.
Burnout on cannon 2. Hold on, my blasters
Didn't
are
happen.
still cooling.
Let's take out the leg jets. If we destroy the legs, the Devastator has no
They have a little shield generator up top.
Help me out here. Inbound fighters at 10-13.
So, these guys are very difficult to hit, as you can see. There we go. Okay. Which is why they give you the Seeker Cluster missiles. Very fast and maneuverable. These new, like, TIE... I forget what they're called.
Are those the TIE Hunters? They look like the TIE Hunters.
Almost. I think they're called TIE Ds. That's shield generator. Take it out, and then you take out 2 legs.
Do they have to be on the same side, or any 2?
Any 2.
Weapons malfunction.
Nice. So that guy right there, is gonna seek me and like just track me and stay on my butt, and that would have been really bad. Here we're gonna go to the final section of the game, get some of these guys to spawn and kill some of them. Maybe only one spawned. Okay.
Oh yeah, they got the flat wings. That's right. That's right. Didn't they add that to Squadrons? The TIE D with the weird... no, that was... Crap, I can't remember which one it was. That was the U, or the weird... The Defender,
Defender.
utility one.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, Seeker missiles, man. They're great for me and great for them.
Great job, lineup. We stopped the devastation. Now let's take out those TIE.
There we go. If we kill enough of them, they'll spawn out as we're taking out the World Devastator. Then we can just Seeker the end of them. And that's the time. That's the last mission. Cool. There's some bonus missions. We're gonna have to save those for another time. They're not nearly as good as bonus missions in other Rogue Squadron games, though. But yeah, that's Rogue Squadron, and I believe we're gonna go to break, and we'll be right back to set up for Shadows of the Empire. So I will see you guys.